All right. So we have some topics to cover today. I decided to cover portfolio as demo reel because I also, maybe you guys saw in the announcement channel, I released an app this week. And the app started, the idea of the app, it started many years ago, when I was trying to find a way to preview and send my animations to review. And the struggle is the same. You need to render from spine, like PNG sequence or video files, send to After Effects, and then you can put it together there, render another video, so you can send for approval, or you can put on your demo reel. So usually I was doing for my demo reel, but I sometimes I need to send to approval. Even now, these days in the studio I'm working on, so you need to send for approval for your art lead or someone. And then it was the same struggle. I was spending time doing that, and you export and you need to align every animation. So every studio that I went through, I need to go through this. So I started thinking about maybe it's a good time to think about developing a tool that will speed up a little bit my work. Then from there, this basic function, I start putting things over. So since it was for my portfolio first, I decided to talk about portfolio. And it is something also that I like to talk about. And when I started Spinimation 3 years ago, I guess, I used to talk more about this. And then I shift to the courses, and then for the Spine Gens that are live events, like in this channel that we are. And then we spoke a little bit about career and portfolio. And then we switched to the courses. But it's something that it was planned to cover from the Spinimation side since the beginning. So maybe I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity with the app and the functionalities of the app to go back to this and talk about it, because every time I mention this or LinkedIn or how to do interviews or look for jobs, people like it. But back in the Spinimation days, I wasn't having like too much audience or attention here in Discord. People were more interested in the courses. So I decided to give it a break, make a pause, talk about other stuff, and then in the good moment, I would go back to this. And this is the good moment now, because of the courses that I am planning, like a slot games course. I will talk about it at the end of the presentation. That this tool is very useful for this kind of job, right? Hi, Olga. And then from today, if you need to leave here with one word in mind, keep this word, strategy. You can see the screen, right? Still can see the screen. On my side, it looks like it's running okay. So remember this word, strategy, because everything that we will talk about here, the portfolio, the demo reel, and everything else, and social media, and your whatever you are hosting your portfolio, everything is around strategy. So you need to have this kind of setup in your mindset, so you can adapt everything around this, all right? So I wanted to start with this big word so you can remember this along the presentation, all right? So first thing that we need to talk about, what kind of portfolios are we covering here? So we will talk more about the spine animation portfolios. I do all kinds of animation. I do 3D, I do motion graphics, I do everything. But my main focus over the last years, it has been like spine animation. So that's why I am focusing today in spine animation portfolios, because most of the people here in Spinimation channel, they are looking for this kind of information. and how to set up portfolios and look for jobs and whatever, but towards spine animation. So first, portfolio is film and video. I put films because there are very few initiatives to do TV or things for bigger productions using spine, but they exist. But the massive part of this video film portfolio thing, it's more towards cinematics, splash art that they use for games, like initial screens, this kind of stuff, and for trailers, of course, cinematics and trailers and cutscenes. I have been doing some cutscenes for some project, but also I used to do, and I will show you my art station. There is a lot of cinematics over there, all done with Spine and After Effects. So that's why I created it. One of the courses of Spine animation that maybe you know already is the Splash course that teaches you like how to prepare a PSD and animate it and create a scene. So this is like the base to create like a cinematic or a trailer or whatever. So this is the first kind of portfolio that people that works with Spine, including me, we look to have. My portfolio, I will show you later. It's focused based on film and video, because this is the thing that I like to do most. I work with games, but what I really like to do is like this storytelling part of video and film and doing cinematics and trailers. Then this, I really like it. So that's why I decided to focus my portfolio on this. And I'll explain you why, of course. And the second one is game portfolio. And this will include like slot games, portfolios, and mobile games, even console games as well. Any kind of games, how you can structure your portfolio towards that. And what is the target that you are trying to achieve, so you can shape your portfolio towards this target. My portfolio, it has more like cinematics and trailers, because this is something that I like to do. So I want to put out there for people to see, for companies to see, so I can get back whatever you put on your portfolio. This is the kind of projects that will get back, people will search you for. So this is why my portfolio, despite I'm working with games, I like to put this other kind of animation there. So I am targeting specific companies, specific kind of productions, so I can put the things that I like, because my personal portfolio is not only for hire for studios, it's for freelancing as well, and other kind of gigs that I can collaborate and meet other artists, whatever. But since this is the thing that I like most to do, and I have already a full-time job, so I am not actively looking for another job, I keep it more directed in this direction, But if you are starting, or you want to start to target an industry specific, like games, like slot games or whatever, you can start shaping from the start. Who do you want to hit? In my case, that I'm old, as you can see by the beard, and I have already a job, I can make this portfolio, my main portfolio, alive, because I have already the work that I want to do, and I am looking for extra work where I can do different stuff. This is my strategy, basically. And then the difference that we have from studio reels and for artists reels. Before, I'm Brazilian, by the way, if you don't know, if you are new here, but I live in Malta, in Europe, and I came here around 8 years ago. And since I came here, and to be here, to be hired internationally, to leave my country and come here, the kind of portfolio and demo reel that I had in Brazil is completely different from the kind of portfolio that I have here, because there, the industry is very different from the Europe industry. So what I did at the time that I want to give my career this big step, I researched how it's supposed to be a professional reel, to be hired, to be interesting for the studios. And then in Brazil, we have this kind of mindset that the artist need to do everything. So you are, even if you are working as a studio or production house or animation house, in Brazil, the profile of the professional is more generalistic, you know? So you need to do a little bit of everything. So I used to do, and I have a small studio also in Brazil. So I used to do my reel and my studio reel like the same way. You have a cool soundtrack, then you have a cool editing, then you put it out there, you make contact with other companies, and this kind of showcase, let's say, it's kind of it's a studio showcase, because the studio, it's showcasing all the range of services that they are doing, and the artist is different. Most of the animation artists, they are specific. We work with animation and with a segment, or 2D or 3D, or like cutout or spine animation, like skeletal animation, or for games, or for like TV shows, something like that. That they use a lot of harmony and moho that are close to spine on the skeleton side, that you need to have a rig, and you need the cuts. Oshin, your mic is open. Okay, thank you. And so we have this difference in reels, and it is like, I have seen some artists that they do like the studio reel, you know, a cool soundtrack and editing. They cut different projects and they put together to match the music. It's very cool, actually. But it doesn't work for the individual artist that wants to target a job in a studio, you know? So I thought it was important to bring this information here, because I see there is a little bit of confusion when you are creating a reel that you want to be hired by a studio. When you send a reel, like a studio reel, a studio showcase, as your portfolio, the recruiter, the people that are watching your reel, the art directors and the animation leads, they don't have much time to enjoy the work, the editing that you are putting there, you know? So the reel needs to be like very, very, very specific. So I see this confusion. People create something that is really cool if you are watching, not in this context, but just watching. And I think they are hitting the right note with who is hired in the studio or in the company, you know? So it's very important that you craft your reel targeting the studio that you want to get into, like the kind of animation that you are doing, the style of the studio. Today's we have tools. Of course, not all animators are artists as well. They can't create the assets for themselves. But today we have AI to help with that. That is all the discussion about AI. I have a chapter here at the end of the presentation that we can talk about it. Thank you, Adele, for the feedback. By the way, if you have any questions, guys, you can put on the chat, all right, at any time, so I can read them and then we can talk about it, all right? I have a script here, a structure presentation, as you can see here on the site, but we can talk about different things, you know? So if you have any questions, if you are starting or something like that, or if you want just to discuss something, you can put the question on the chat and I will make my best to answer it, all right? So continue. I was talking about the target, how to target your portfolio. So before sending a demo reel or a portfolio to a studio, try to do a little bit of research, what kind of animation this studio is doing. Many studios, if you go for slot games, for example, is that the industry that I'm working now, and the industry that hired me to move from Brazil to Malta. And when I was looking for the portfolio over there, when I was in Brazil, and they contacted me, and I was watching their portfolio of games, there were like amazing cinematics and all 3D and everything. So in my mind, I was thinking I was going to a full production house, not only a slot game studio, because in Brazil we don't have this kind of industry. So it was very new to me to get into this type of production. And I was a 3D animator back there in Brazil. So at that time, seeing the portfolio, the pieces that they have on their studio showcase, I was seeing a lot of 3D happening together with the game animations. So in my head, I was being hired to be a 3D animator here. Then I land here, and then when I was put in production, then I was presented to Spine, and then I start getting comfortable with Spine and migrating, let's say, my knowledge from 3D to 2D. I have some After Effects 2D work, and this kind of like cinematics, scenes, things that I have in my portfolio even today. But I didn't know that I would work like 100% with spine animation and game animation on the studio because of their portfolio that showcase some cinematics. And then I discovered that they outsourced the cinematics to other studios around the world. So it was not a disappointment because I like animation. So any challenge, any opportunity that I have to learn new techniques and new tools and I take it and I go for it. So it was nice because I didn't know Spine since then, and I got my first professional contact with Spine here, and it was very, very cool. Welcome to the people that are joining. I was telling, if you have any questions, drop into the chat and we can talk about it. And Olga just put a question here. How long approximately a portfolio should be, and is better without any soundtrack or some light background music is okay? I'll talk about this in a few topics I had, how to present your work, so we'll talk about this, all right? So I was talking about target your portfolio to the studio that you want to join. And try to match the style. See if they are doing mobile games and you are doing, for example, like me, slot games. Try to select specific animations like character animations that they have a lot in slot games, and try to build and customize. Of course, this is like you can't always have everything that all studios are looking for, of course, but just try to mix a little bit and give some priority of the style of the studio that you are trying to go. If you have only cartoon animation in the studio that you are going to, that you want to go to, is like very realistic animation, so it's not a match, because people, you see your work, what you are showing, the cartoon animation is very flexible. You can do a lot of stuff, and realistic is another game. You need to pay attention in different stuff, the physics, the weight of the body mechanics, the focus of the animation is completely different. Then you have facial animation, micro expressions. It's another game. So if this is not your cup of tea, as they say, or you build a portfolio that is more directed to this, or you try to go first with the things that you are more comfortable to, And the other way is not true as well. If people are doing like very, very realistic animation, if they get like cartoon animation to do, probably they will feel like very stiff, and because the mindset is different, you know. Cartoon animation, the language and the kind of poses that you need to craft, they are very, very different because they need to communicate maybe the same action but in different ways. So try to target the thing that you are more comfortable first. Even studios, like when you are selecting the studios that you want to make part of the team, try to pick the ones that match your style better. Because if you are going to a studio like this, very completely different from what you do, maybe you need to give a step back, because what you need to do is plan a career change, right? So it's not like you do animation, you do anything 100% good. We as animators, we, like me, I do, as I said to you, I do motion graphics, I do 3D, I do a lot of stuff. But realistic is not my cup of tea, for sure. I can do that, but I will take like 3 times the time that a more animator that is more into this realistic stuff would take to do a shot, you know? So it's not worth it. And for me, to be honest, it's not like very pleasant. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. So I try to keep on my lane so I can deliver better content. I love cartoon animation and 2D animation, so I try to stay on this lane because first it's comfortable to me, something that I am doing for a long time, and most important is something that I really, really like to do. So I try to stay in this lane, you know, not going realistic. And now I am doing things outside of animation. I'm doing comics, and I noticed that it's kind of the same, like the style that you choose to apply to your storytelling. It needs to be in a place that is comfortable to you, you know. So keep this in mind. Try to target your portfolio to whatever place you are trying to go, you know. So next we go to preparation. What should be on your portfolio? And then the question of over here, the size and time of your portfolio. Adil, I hope this is how I say pronounce your name. If not, I'm sorry. He asked that question here. Is having skill in After Effects, Blender, Photoshop, Spine, and video editing all in one portfolio a plus point or a drawback when applying to Spine Focus Game Studio? It's not a drawback, but it depends on what you are trying to do, because we're trying to show, sorry. Because like Spine, it works, most of the studios, if they are not like real time, like gaming, mobile games, if they are a company for mobile games, for example, probably they will have a person for VFX. If you are in a slot game studio, you will do your own VFX sometimes. So, and if you are doing video, of course, all of this applies as a good thing. So this goes back to the topic of targeting your portfolio for something that you want to do. If you want to do cinematics like I do, and I like to do, that's why I put this in my demo reel. I would show off all of these things, you know, because it's something that I am targeting. I'm not targeting to be hired for a specific studio, and because my reel that is on YouTube now, it's even not new. It's like from 2023, and it has everything, but it has a super focus on cinematics and motion comics. So I showcase most of this. After Effects, Blender not so much, because I'm trying to do more 2D stuff. Photoshop, of course. Spine is combined with After Effects. Video editing is like how the heel is put together, you know? And it shows if you are doing cinematics for a gig, for a freelance project, of course, the editing will come in place very well. But it depends. It's for a spine-focused game studio. You don't need to show that. If you are putting that, you are wasting time, your time, and the people of the studio time. I will talk about this as well. Who is watching your demo reel and your portfolio? And this is an issue. Try to create like a, I think when I was talking about this, you were not here yet, but try to do like a cool editing, super cool background soundtrack, everything cut it in timing. And this is not for a game studio, for sure. So what they are looking in your reel as an animator is animation. So they are looking for fundamentals. They are looking for basic stuff. Fundamentals are basic stuff, but if you are, I am always talking about this here in Spinimation. If you control the fundamentals, if you know them very well, this will be like very obvious in your reel. And this is what most of the people that are looking to demo reels, they are paying attention, because who is looking at your demo reel is not only the recruiter, is also the art director, is also the animation lead. So they are not looking for a video editor. They are not looking for a VFX only guy. They are not looking for art direction. They are looking for animation. So when applying for a studio, you need to be very specific. You need to be an animator, and you need to showcase your skills the best way possible and as fast as you can. So you can't like waste time with editing, with a cool introduction. They are not looking for that, you know? And usually these people, the time that they have to look at reels, because on the studios that I have opportunity to work, I also participated in the hiring process. So we do this, we receive a lot of reels, so we need to go through CVs, portfolio, demo reels, and do the work that we're supposed to do, like the animation and everything that in game that we need to handle. And apart from that, we need to analyze all the reels, all the portfolios that we receive. So we don't have much time to do that. So if you are more objective, this is a point for you. If you are like going too much around, in the studio is very busy, they will skip this and they will jump to the one that is not like full of fireworks, but they are showing like very good stuff, you know? And very good stuff is very well animated stuff, good timing, good fundamentals, good everything else, you know? Usually this is how the pipeline works. The recruiter goes to LinkedIn or any other platform. They get attention. Your reel will get his attention. And then they will send to an art manager. It could be an art director, it could be an animation lead, it could be someone that is art related. So this guy can make a filter and say, okay, this looks interesting, so let's send to the team. And they will send to the team that is recruiting. And then they will filter, analyze, and if everything is okay, they will invite you for an interview, right? So you need to be focused and objective, right? This counts in your favor, not the fireworks. Another question here. What to do when the best work is under NDA? The portfolio is kind of empty, but no time to animate extra stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Your portfolio doesn't have to have like 5 minutes or be completely finished, let's say, in terms of art and extra stuff. I'll give a moment. Your portfolio should be like very objective. if your work is under NDA, usually what people do is that they don't make it public. So it's not like my demo reel that is on YouTube and anyone can see it. So people put it under passwords so they can send only for the recruiter and for the art lead that will look into your reel, because they will not make it public. So it's not a problem. But it depends. Usually it's not a problem. It's normal you receive like demo reels with passwords, so they are not public. But you should check what the contract say. So if the contract is for Marvel, it's very strict under a big name like Disney, that they are very, very very hard on these legal parts, maybe it's not a good idea. But if it's not, it's normal. People send reels with password protected content, and of course nobody makes it public, so it's not a problem. The problem with the NDA is that you can't like make it available to anyone. So you are using it in a very specific way. So it should be okay, but of course the contract says everything. So if you are breaching the contract, it's a big problem. So if you can talk to the legal people, the studio that you are using. Usually they are okay. You can say, hey, I'm looking for another gig, for another position, and looking to move. And if it's okay, if I put a password here and share this. But as I say, if it is like a really big name, because if it's not, maybe you can just send me the password and it's fine. But I don't know exactly what you mean by extra stuff. If it is like VFX or I don't know, better painting assets. I don't know. I do account showcase a bit of what they are looking for. Well, as I only work for indies, people. Yeah, it from case to case. Indies is even more easy to handle. So they are not like big names, and they are okay. And they know that people are there, and they are indies. They are not like the cherry on top of the cake. So they know that people will move around very easily with indie productions. So that's fine. But always make things clear. Don't hide stuff, and should be well. And tell me what you mean about extra stuff, because if you are applying for a character animator or game animator, could be different things. For character animator, you don't need to show VFX and these kind of extra stuff. But if you're looking for a general application of game animator, maybe it can be more, the range of things that you need to know and to do is different. So we need to do rigging, you need to do VFX. It changes from place to place, So moving on, what should be there? Not everything. You should put your best there, considering that you have a strategy, as we said at the beginning, and you are targeting some players, some studios. So you don't need to put everything there. You need to make it short, make it good. So on the first minute, seconds of your reel, you should have like the best stuff, Of course, the best stuff you consider your best. You are not faking anything, because probably they will do an art test, and if you are faking anything, you will not pass it. I have been in this situation a few times. Like the people, the candidates, they do like incredible job on the demo reel, and when it comes to the test, they deliver like very medium level stuff. So sometimes you see that, and of course this person doesn't go away, or if they have more interesting stuff and we are interested, we ask for another interview and ask why, what was the process and what happened. You didn't have time enough, and maybe try again. I don't know. It depends on the profession, because if you see a demo reel that is very, very interesting, and the person delivers like very mediocre stuff, something is there, and something fishy. It could be the person was faking stuff or using stuff that is not 100% done by them, or they had some problems, like someone got sick, they didn't have time, and of course these things happens because life happens. So if the candidate is interesting enough, the company, for sure, the studio will be flexible. So, but try to be 100% real always. So it will clear your path. And again, you'll not spend your time and the studio time. So not everything should be there, only the best. It doesn't need to be 5 minutes. When I like this 23 reel that I have on YouTube, it started with a reel that I proposed to myself to make a demo reel that is interesting in 1 minute. So I cut everything that I could. I put only the things that I knew that was absolutely best. Today is bigger because with time, and I had my full-time job. I was not looking, so I could make my public reel more flexible. So it's bigger now because it's something that I like. I think it's interesting to show, so I put it there. But it has even 3D stuff at the end. But if I was looking for a job specifically, I would cut it again and put a shorter version for sure. And then I would apply with this shorter version for the studios that I was targeting. And where to host it? So mine is on YouTube, because I have a channel there that is a lot of spine content. If you don't know, you can check it, because I'm seeing a lot of new people here, so maybe you don't know me at all, but I have some stuff in YouTube related to spine, related to other stuff as well. But spine animation stuff, the things that I do for the courses and some open classes, I put it there. So if you want to check, is YouTube, youtube.com/Juliano Castro altogether. I am here on Discord. All right. Usually I use this like Juliano Castro altogether everywhere. Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, any possible social network that I have an account, it's like that, Juliano Castro altogether. And it shows how old I am, because I registered all of them like at the very beginning. So that's why. Oshin is asking here, for someone early, mid in their career, what are the key gaps that usually prevent them from getting into good studios? I don't see gaps, to be honest. If you are applying for positions that are early mid, as you said here, it should be okay. The problem is when you are trying to apply for something that doesn't fit you. So if it requires more skill than what you have, so this could be a problem, because you get rejected because they are looking for someone more experienced and you applied as an early mid. So it depends on where your mind is with this stuff, because you can get rejection. So maybe this can affect how you see your work. And it's not a realistic field, because you are, as you say, early mid. So you should do early mid stuff for now, because you are learning, as we are all learning. So it's just a matter of expectation. So maybe you really want to apply for a more advanced position, but maybe it's not the time, dedicate yourself, study, prepare good stuff, and then you apply. So, and especially with spine animation, it's not only about animation itself. So it is kind of expected from spine animation, unless you are on a studio that is very, very, it has like a large structure. They will have people to rig stuff and people to animate stuff. They will segment it. They will be segmented. But usually indies or like slot animation, it is expected that you rig your stuff. But if you are learning and if you are doing yourself, your studies and everything else, you should already be on this path, to know how to rig. So try for spine animation more specifically, try to know more than just animation, This place here is Spine Animation, the platform of courses. I try to focus more on animation knowledge because there are other resources like Arma Animation from Arma. He's very good with technical stuff, with rigging. So he's building a rigging course. So he's much better than me at this stuff, And I think it's great because I prefer to do animation, like fundamentals and like make beautiful things, and spending time with rigging is not something that I really like, to be honest. So usually I try to do my rigs more optimized and simple so I can put my effort, my time, and doing really good animation, So I prefer to, like in spine animation, I prefer to focus on the animation techniques and whatever you need to do your animations beautiful. Because I see other people, especially gaming people, they tend to focus more on the technical side. So there are very good stuff out there about technical stuff, a lot of stuff. And there are not many stuff dedicated to, sorry, my voice is fading a little bit. It's not dedicated to animation itself. There is another universe, you know how to handle the fundamentals and convey weight, convey personality, convey physics, the spine now has the physics constraint, but I see this as a blessing if you are more experienced, because it really enhance your work. But the new generation, maybe they will rely on this and they will not learn what makes this look beautiful, they'll just use it. And if they go to another studio that use a version of a spine that doesn't support physics, they will be stuck. They will not know how to handle it. So I try to cover fundamentals a lot, and I like to do that. And I use physics on top. I mean the automatic, the physics constraints, but I use the physics on top of the animation that I did, because I know if it is good without physics, without the 3D stuff that they try to fake, the animation needs to work without these things, because these are like special effects. Like the physics will make things move more organically, so it's beautiful. I'm not saying it's not beautiful. The fake 3D will make it look like very complex and with volume, But the basics of animation, for the character, let's say we're animating a character, it needs to work. Like the weight needs to work. The basic physics, like expressions, acting, everything that gives personality to the character, this needs to work. And on top of that, you do the other stuff, the cool stuff, let's say. That's why I try to focus here in Spanish, to teach you like this part of the art, not only how to constrain one constraint to another constraint, It's fun sometimes, it is, but like Harman Armand is very focused on that, and he likes it, and like the game dev part. And I'm always sending people to him because he's much better than me in this aspect. And I prefer to stay with people that likes animation, like to do like smooth animation, beautiful stuff, with personality. So if you are new here, you know that here you will not learn about very complex stuff with mathematics and whatever. You learn to do like beautiful animation, flowing animation with personality, with how to handle characters, different characters, and this kind of stuff. Communicate emotions, things like that. So I can't get starting talk about animation because I can spend a lot of time talking about it. Every Spiny Jam that we made, I spent like, we are doing a Spine Jam. By the way, Spine Jams, if you don't know, we used to do this more, but I'm on a break for them. And I collect like 11 Spine Gems and put it all together on the course Spinimation, so you can have access to the project files and everything, the recordings. Some of them are very long, and Spine Gems, they are like workshops. So I have this Spine Gem full access that you can access like 11 workshops now, and they are keep growing. Every one of them is a different thing. There is some, I will show you a character today that we use for the game animation Spine Gem. There is one for facial animation with lip sync. There is one that I do like a Lego character. There is one for a cartoon card. So every one of them, they are like 2 hours, 3 hours. Some are 3 parts of 2 hours. So they are long. And I like to do that because it's like this. I share the screen with Spine and I do like step by step from the start to the end. So it's very nice content. It's not like a course with lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. Where it's like a big workshop, we sit together, we talk about it, and we make it happen, So if you are interested, it's something that might help you. And in between the when I am doing the things, I start, and especially when I am animating the thing, I start talking about animation. So there is a lot of things that were not supposed to be covered, because let's say we are rigging a car, but at the same time we are talking about physics, the balance, how it will affect the personality of the car, and how you can make it more flowing, like more smooth, or even more wiggle. So it's interesting. So if you want to check, go check. If you are new here, of course. Okay. Now I explained myself why I do so many pauses to talk about animation. But I was about to talk to you about where to host it. So my demo reel is on YouTube because it's easy to share. Everyone has access to it. And it's close to the Spinimation content that I do that is free. And other than that, I have the demo reel, and I have also my official, let's say, portfolio that I use the ArtStation. Probably you know ArtStation. Because I found on ArtStation a more organized way to show the work. So let me show you right now. First, my demo reel is this one. Let me kill the sound so you don't need to listen to the music. But when I started putting it together, I decided to start with things that I like most. If I was working, looking for a job, for example, I would put this in front because this is from Supercell, Clash of Clans, Battle Royale, I don't remember. But it's Supercell, it's super known. So for looking for a job in the industry, the game industry, I will put this first, not the scene that I have. The scene that I have here, it's because I really like comics. I'm doing comics now. And it shows like a character that I wanted to it's a complex scene, even as an illustrator, it's complex because there is a lot of things happening here with the two characters. And there is this deep behind them. This show that they are very high, but they are falling. And there is a fight happening that is superpower here. So I need to show all of this stuff. So it's not a long shot, but it's a shot that could be like very interesting. So because the camera is shaking, that is the special effects, everything. So I really like this, These are the one. I like it because the art direction. And then I put this because this is like important and it is really beautiful. And it's something that everybody knows, So I decided to put it here at the very beginning. It's not the first, but it is at the start because I think it's important industry-wise. So it shows that I'm around, I'm around the industry. So people know that I'm working both with motion comics, but also with games. So it's still, even I'm not looking for a job now, but it shows my range of not only techniques, but I'm around, around the so it's interesting to be there. And then on other important stuff from Blizzard. This is from a friend that I really like. He asked me to animate it. It's a story that he has. It's kind of motion comics, but I really like the designs and everything else, so I put it here as well. And then you'll see there will be a lot of comic stuff, like the Black Panther, Batman, and I really like. When I started to do that, it was with the authors, the artists from comics that I really like this style, so I started putting them together. Some of them, like this for Batgirls, it was more of the challenge, but the cover, this is a comic cover. The cover was very interesting. So it was, how can I put this together with the bats flying around and with the difference in perspective? And in the end, the cover is already really beautiful, but how could I put this together in a more interesting way? Movement, of course. And that's why it's here. So it's not only professional. You don't need to show only professional stuff that you did for money. You can put your personal stuff because this says a lot about you. People think that they need to put on the reel only, or if they are a student, they are starting, they need to put just studies. Or if they work already in the industry, they need to put only work, real work. And it's quite the opposite because recruiters, they are not looking for robots yet. With AI, they will be looking some robots. But they are looking for people that care about stuff, If you get a character, what can you get with this character, So I have a lot of personal work, and I recommend that to everyone that I do mentorship, that ask me for advice. I say the same. You don't need to put your commercial work on your demo reel because people, they are looking for the recruiters, the studio. They are looking for people that care about this stuff, And when you are doing personal jobs, personal projects, you are doing because you want to do it. So if you want to do it, you are putting your heart there. So it will be different. It will look different, Like this piece is from the first season of Arcane. Many people think I worked in Arcane, but I didn't. But this came because I look at the poster. If you remember, this was the poster of the season 1. I wanted to do the season 2 because they inverted the characters, but I didn't have the time yet. So this was out of curiosity only because the poster was this V holding Jinx, and you can see fear, a lot of fear in Jinx's eyes. So I want to convey exactly this kind of emotion, and it works like very, very fine. It's a short piece, and it's loopable because it goes out, then it goes in the eyes again. And then they released Mandalorian, and I'm super big fan of Cody Loffitz. I don't know how to say it exactly, but he's an art director from Disney. He does a lot of good things. He was responsible for he was the lead for Zootopia, so that characters design are from his style basically. And he was getting a baby at the time that they released the Mandalorian, so he created this Yoda, and I connected with. I like it, and I was asking how I could do this even more interesting. So that's why it's here. I'm fan of Corey, and I'm fan of the design, so I decided to animate this. And other pieces that I found around the internet that could be interesting from Pixar. This is from a guy from Brazil that he does a lot of fun arts. He's doing sculpting now, amazing stuff. Gabriel Lopez. Then this is another. This is from the same studio that created this one here. So they became kind of friends. So we start working together. I did this for a book that they are releasing now with the two characters. Very interesting stuff. Then Max Greg, probably you know already. His art is very animatable, let's say. So fun art was something that really put my name out there. So when I start with spine and I need to learn, like deeply learn all the things, because when I came here, I didn't know much about spine. So I need to get comfortable with the tool, you know? So then I start doing fun art as well, of things that I like. So I started looking for artists first that I like the style and the kind of animation. And this Max Greg has some incredible designs. They are like mostly flat, so they work very well with spine. If you want to add a little 3D over it, it works perfectly. So I started doing that fun art, and fun art works very well for if you are starting, like Oshin asked here, if you are early mid. This is a very interesting approach for your portfolio. You take pieces that from artists that you like, and you animate them, like short stuff, like 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds. And then you can create like my first spine portfolio was basically fun arts and no jobs, you know, no projects, commercial projects. It's something that works really well, and it's something that mine is basically comics and video games. So most of the fun arts that I did was towards this video game and of course Arcane. When Arcane started, it was a big hit for everyone in animation. It was like a landmark. So that's why I have two pieces here, because this one I wanted to know because of the VFX. I could do like hand draw VFX, like this stickers that say, and I was showing the composition, like Adil asked about showing and other stuff. In this case, I was showing like hand draw animation with the VFX, and I was showing composition with After Effects to create this light burst and this kind of stuff. Let's see. Hello, may I ask you how important to know rigging well for a person who is focused on animating? As I said earlier, it depends on the studio that you are being hired. For spine animation is very common, and it's kind of expected that to know more about rigging. So if you can learn about it, you don't need to like I rig and I do some complex stuff, but I don't care much about the super complex stuff. And I see people that, especially people that are starting, so you can pay attention to that as well if you are starting with rigging, that people create like rigs with IKs. IKs is that thing that you put, like, for example, at the tip of the arm, and you can move the full arm at the same time. They are very practical. They work very well for me, my opinion, okay? Personal opinion. They work very well for the legs, but personally, I don't like them in the arms. And I see people because they saw any random tutorial on the internet. They put IKs on the arms, on the elbows, on the knees, on the head. I hired a freelance once to help me in a project, and her rig was completely full of IKs, and the animation was totally uncontrolled. So I had to take her animation. It was good animation, but because of the rigging, it was very, very stuck in many places, very stiff. So I had to take the project files and refine the rig so the animation could work properly. So just pay attention to that. If you are not over complicating your rig, start with the basics. I have this philosophy for everything, even for animation, for everything. Start with the basic block, and then you can build over that. Always works. So you never miss a shot if you go like layering stuff. Start with the basics, then you can add things that you need to make the animation happen the way you want. So you need to control everything. So if you are doing just because you saw a technique that someone used it, maybe that technique will not work on your character. Spine has this thing, like 3D, usually you do a rig, and this rig serves most of the situations, like 80% of the situations that you need, you use the same rig. Spine is heavily based on the image, the illustration. So the same rig will not work for every case. So just pay attention to that. If you saw a technique that is very cool for a specific case on YouTube or whatever, because there is a lot of random tutorials with all kind of crazy stuff, just be aware that maybe that technique, that solution don't work exactly for the thing that you want to do. If you go to from the basics, so build the basics and you put on top exactly what you need to do, is a very safe way, and it will save you a lot of time with problems that probably you shouldn't have, but you have because you created a crazy stuff that you saw on the internet. So just pay attention to that, all right? And Olga asked again, did you contact the artists and ask for using their art animation? This is, everyone asks that. Did they send you an original file? It happened already, but usually they are very happy you are animating their art. The most common message that I got from these artists was, "Oh my God, thank you. I never imagined someone would take time to animate something that I did." So for them, usually they are very, very glad to see their pieces in motion, because they are illustrator. They know nothing about animation, But you do. I used to say that this is not valid for likes, but it's better to use to ask for forgiveness than for permission. But yeah, of course, this is just a joke, But in this case of fan art, what I do is, sometimes the art is reachable, sometimes it's not, because if it is like a very cool illustration, they are big artists, they will be like very busy. So I try to do first, because if you don't post that, it doesn't mean that you didn't learn what you need to learn, Fun art and this kind of stuff, it's good for a portfolio, but the main goal is to learn stuff. So you'll not lose that. So my advice is always take it, do it, tag the guy, and credit. If you check the fun arts on my Instagram, all of them, in my Vimeo channel, in some YouTube channel as well, all of them, they have the credits of the artist. So if you are using, but you are giving credits, they are super okay with that. The problem is when you use and you don't say where it's coming from. It's like AI. The big problem with AI is actually the generative AI. They are training the machines with art that they don't have permission to use. No, So if you give them credits, it's something big, for them, because these are, and it's fair, of course, because they are the artists. And usually, I never had a problem with anyone about doing fan art and posting, because it was super clear that it was a fan art. It's not my art. I'm not trying to steal it and say that I did it. I just put this in motion, but this belongs to another artist, and their name should be there. It's fair, and it's the right thing to do. If in any case they don't like it, hey, don't use my art, I didn't give permission, you remove it. That's it. It doesn't need to be like an awkward situation or something bad. But if you make it clear, it's a fun art, I love your work, this kind of stuff, and credits should be super fine. Following up on question from Olga, how do you recommend animators handle sprite sourcing if they are not strong in Photoshop or don't have direct sprite sourcing? I think you meant illustration, right? Well, we just spoke about AI, but I don't recommend, like, especially if you are starting, use too much AI generated images. But you have access to artists. As I was explaining, you don't need to ask personally and wait for the permission. You can go to the art station. Most of the art that I use it on my fun arts, the animated fun arts, I took from ArtStation or Instagram. They are publicly available, so you have access to them. So you can go there, and as I said, credit the artists, tag them so they know that you are using that. And as I said, I never, like in 8 years, almost 10 years, never had a problem with anyone. So they got a lot of expositions. So they thank me about they understood that I am like doing celebration with their art, because I am a fan first. And then I am, like, they are doing Star Wars. So I'm a fan of Star Wars. So that's why I picked it. So it should be fine. So you don't need to generate anything. And if you generate, you have no one to tag. So that is another thing. If you tag an artist that has a big audience, there is a chance that they will repost your stuff and they will credit as well. So, oh, look at this amazing animation that this person did with my art, and people will look at your portfolio, and it become a chain, The worst thing that they are not reposting, they ignored you. But as I said, you still have the thing that you animated. You learn what you need to learn and move on. Go to the next one, Of course, you need to go to the cutting part. Even if the artist, because Olga asked if they send me the original file. Even if they sent me the original file, I'm sorry, they're not prepared for animation. So you need to go to the cutting stage and everything else. That is another info from Spine Animation to you if you are new here. I have an introduction to Spine, so free course, covering everything in Spine, every feature in Spine, slots, bones, meshes, and there is a special lesson about cutting. So if you don't know properly how to do that, I recommended you to enroll to the course and take this lesson. So it will guide you how to cut, how to cover the part that you cut it, how to prepare everything that you need. Why I did that? Because, as I said to you, I don't want to teach people spine and technical stuff. I want to teach animation. So if you go to my courses and you know already spine, you know the tool, where everything is, how the graph editor works, how the timeline works, what is a bone, what is a slot, what is an attachment. If you know all the basics, and how they work and how to prepare your file, you can go to any of my courses and focus on animation. All right. That's why I make it free so everyone can access it. So if you are new here now you know. Spyinimation.com should have all the links there. There are some free rigs that I put there in case you need to practice and you don't want to rig anything. There are a few free rigs there, so you can try and you can learn from that. Just saying. So let me finish with my demo reel. So from here, there is a lot of shots that I did for cinematics. And this is another place that I show a lot of different stuff. Spine and After Effects and all the things that I like to do. So it's a mix of camera motion, VFX. I use like fire, live footage, video footage, combine it. So particles, this guy, and everything mixed, like a lot of particles here. So, and again, motion comics. So I cut everything and I try to create a narrative like comics. This is all After Effects. One of the first things that I did in this 2D stuff, very old, this one, but it's from a dear friend as well, this illustration. So I decided to take it and animate it. He loves it. Harry Potter fan art, of course. This is the same artist of this one, because I love his style. So I did the Harry Potter first, then I did this other one, Samurai Jack. This is from a guy that I worked with, Ronan, and I really love his art. We worked like side by side, and then he gave, in this case, he gave me the PSD, so I could work better. But same thing, they are not separated layers, so I have to go through everything. This is from Jake Parker. I love his designs as well. This because I like the movie, Harry Potter again. This is from Cesar. This is another work colleague. And this is Alpha Nerd, from artists that I really love. This is more commercial work for Riot, for some brands. This is a slot game cinematic that I did. This is for a RPG book, a Kickstarter campaign. So they have like amazing illustrations. They asked me to animate this. It's like horror stuff, but really, really cool illustrations. So again, when it's cinematics, it's a combination of After Effects, video, VFX, whatever, everything. And this last part is game animation. So these were done for actual games. So I showcase all the cycles. This is a lot of games again, like an intro for the game. And this is the card play. I said that it's 3D, but I think this one, I removed the 3D. So leave it all 2D. So that's it. So this is my demo. It has like 3 minutes now. When I started, when I did the first version, it was 21, I guess, 2021. And it has 1 minute. It was a challenge as well that I proposed to myself, like to cut everything that I could. Of course, I didn't some of the works I have here, I didn't have at the time. I had basically fun arts. So it was hard to pick which one I wanted there, but as I said, it was a challenge. So it's a good challenge to have. If you want to try, you can post it here in the channels, and people will give you feedback. If you tag me, I can look at it and give you feedback as well. It's not a problem. Or you ping me on Instagram. I'm very active there, or LinkedIn or whatever. Don't be afraid to send a message. I'm very open to help people. No. So this was my demo, and this is my art station. what I want to show here is like that is since I'm not looking for work, I keep my ArtStation. This ArtStation is also the last update that I did here. It was like 2 years ago. Of course, again, because I'm not looking for work, so some works that I have on the demo reel, they are not even here. But I'm showing you this because this was a way, and I got a lot of compliments, and I got people talking to me because of the organization of the ArtStation. The fact that I care about the covers and the layout of the covers with title, with the icons, with the composition, the formatting, people think this is super interesting. And this is something that you can show. We call it like these soft skills, you know. It's not only your basic skill, because the studio, it might be interested in you and your skills, your animation skills. You are being hired for that. But there is another thing, another part that not much people talk about it. That is the soft skills. There is this guy, I think he was an animator from Disney, and he was talking about being hired and demo reels and this kind of stuff as well. And he said, your demo reel, it will open the door so you can enter. But what will make you stay there is your soft skills. It's not your main skill. Because if you enter there, people saw that you know about the stuff, you know what you're doing. But being inside there, being inside a team, you need different skills. You need communication. You need to be an easygoing person to talk to everyone. You don't need to be extrovert. I'm very introvert, so you don't worry about that. Thank God in this area, people understand that if you are on a team of artists, we are not like the same as the IT. We are not the same as the marketing, where the extroverts are. So usually the art department is the most introvert department of the company. So this is good because you can be yourself. You don't need to be extrovert to be accepted by the company, you know. But I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about just being there, being helpful, knowing what to do, sharing what you know, because this is another problem that once in a while pops up. The guy that is amazing in what he does, but he doesn't share anything, so he's kind of isolated. He's isolating himself, you know, or herself, of course. But this is like a lack of social and soft skills. So this, and I have been in this situation with a candidate that he was very, very good, but no one could, it's not a candidate, actually it was a colleague. No one could relate with him. So door were closing to them. You don't need to change yourself. I'm not talking about change yourself. You need to be yourself, but you need to be open to teach, to learn, to grow with the team, to be a team, you know, because this is important for the company, the culture of the company. So if you are part of the team, you are part of the team. You don't need to be the leader. You don't need to be the clown of the room, you know, but this is important. So organization is another important part of this. So by doing this with my ArtStation, I am graduating in graphic design. So doing this for me is very natural, but I know it's not for everyone. But the opposite is like the other extreme is very bad as well. People that present their portfolio like it is like anything, just throw it there and let people see it, and they expecting being hired. I had to review portfolios that are folders and folders inside folders with GIFs, you know, the worst way possible to present a portfolio. So I don't have the time to go to all of that. And inside a folder that is 10 GIFs or 10 MP4s with 2 seconds that don't loop, you know, because the player in Google Drive, for example, if you click a video or GIF, they don't loop. They like go to the end, they loop, but they do a pause and they play it again. So it's not interactive, you know. So you have a lot of struggle to go through this portfolio. So what happens that you don't go because you don't have the time. So this candidate that just throw it there, any link. So here it is. This guy will not go through the hire pipeline. You will not go to the interview because himself is making his work like inaccessible. So taking care of this shows that you care about your work and about the people that are looking at your work, you know? So if you can create, here is my 3D stuff at the very bottom, because this is the last stuff that I want to do nowadays. If I want to shift my career, go back to 3D or something else, probably I will take this up in the ArtStation. So when people access it, they will see it first. But what I want to show you here with the ArtStation is like, do things, organize it, and do things showing that you care about your work, because it represents you. It represents what you do, what you love to do, actually. So this got me many doors open, you know, people talk to people to make connections, not only LinkedIn or not only other platform, but you don't know where people will come from, you know? So take care of all your bases so you are covered, and it should be good. Of course, nothing is a guarantee that you get a job, but if you show that you care about the people and care about your own work, it says a lot about you. So it's a positive point, very positive point, when people can access your work on a very good way, and they will like what they will see. All right. So think about it. The same apply to your show here. That's why it doesn't need to be long. It needs to have the first thing first, the best thing first, and this is like the basics. So you have more views from recruiters because they will not skip your work because you were very objective. And then where to host it? We are not even in the middle of the way yet, but I'll try to speed up because we are now 1.5 hours. I don't want to lock you here too much, but feel free to ask. Okay, I'm here to help as well. So presentation. I just spoke about it. Make it easy to access. A single video is better than a folder full of files. I just spoke about it. Let me drink some water. Avoid long titles. It, of course, is not the title of your video in YouTube. It's like introduction to your demo reel, for example. Long, your name flying, in the presentation, a very cool edit with a very exciting soundtrack. This is what I'm talking about. You don't need that. If you put there like 3 seconds, 5 seconds of your name, email, all the contacts, it will do the work, you know. If you are doing like the showcase, studio showcase and the artist portfolio, this is the difference. For the studio want to showcase what they can do. So they will do everything at the start with the cool introduction, the cool title, with the vignette, with the name of the studio, shining and fireworks. It works for the studio, you know. But for artists, they need to be straight to the point. Don't add it to the music. That's what I'm saying with the beats. You don't need to cut. You have like 3 projects, but they are all mixing up because you are cutting all the time for everything possibility. So this is again a showcase, a studio showcase, okay? Not an artist demo reel. And group projects. This is the same about the don't add it to the soundtrack, because people, studios, when they have like 3 good projects, they will cut it and they will spread it through the reel. So scenes, shots of the same project, they will come up along the reel, not together, you know. So if you are doing a game project, put all together, then you move to the other project, then you move to the other project. So people will see what you did, in fact, in that project, and what was your work on that project specifically. And this is important. if you don't agree with anything that I said here and you still want to send a folder with a GIF or MP4, don't do this MP4 like 30 frames or the GIF, because you need to click it every time to repeat it. And if you are doing an animation, especially game animation, that is mostly cycles that they need to loop, the only way to evaluate the quality of the animation is to see the loop happen, like an idol, the character, like Street Fighter, the characters that are preparing to fight. So if they do only this stop, I can't say anything. I need to see things happen. So if you have a loop that is short, cycle that is short, make it longer. Make it like 5 seconds repeating, because then we will we can evaluate that. We can see it happening with a long time, like in video games, idols. Idols will play like infinite until the player interacts with the control. So it could be there for 10 seconds. It could be there for 2 seconds. But the player will see it playing and he will understand what's happening. So it's not a single play. So if you are sending cycles to someone, even if they are in your demo reel, add it a little bit longer, make them repeat a few times so people that are watching it, they can evaluate it better, right? So I spoke about that already. Who is watching your stuff is recruiters and art directors and animation leads. So you don't need to fake, because if you are faking, you'll pass by the recruiter, but you will not pass by the art director or the animation leads. And usually the recruiter, they are searching for candidates everywhere, LinkedIn, Instagram, ArtStation. And the ones that they select, they will send to the art directors and the animation leads. And then you will be selected for sure. It's not because a recruiter selected you, that means that you will go to the interview and show your stuff. You need to go to the technical part, people that knows about the animation, knows about the art. So this is a very important one. Who is watching? Always consider this. It's not only for recruiters, but you pass the recruiter, you go to the art. So there you can't fake anything, because we know we know how things work, so consider that. Another thing is social media and internet in general. It's about being seen, I highlighted here that it's not about becoming an influencer or have like gazillions of followers, because it doesn't matter. It matters if you are an influencer and you are selling anything and or you want to be famous or whatever. But for artists, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have like a huge audience. Most of artists, they are not very interactive. They're not looking for followers. They just want to showcase what they love to do. If they are super good and related to big studios, the audience will grow naturally. They will not buy followers or this kind of stuff like celebrities do, because that's not the goal of what you are doing, what we are doing. We don't want attention of people following us. We just want to be there, And for work-related stuff, that's it. You just need to be there, because if you are hiding, if you are not accessible, they will not find you. It's simple like that. You buy something that you really like. I don't know, a new hat or something like that. But if you buy it and you put it on the lower part of your wardrobe or whatever, you will never find it again. So why did you buy it? So we are here to showcase our art, but we are here to work as well. So social media for me is about work. I have my personal Instagram that I put, as everyone else, food, trips, and things that I like to do, like basketball, music. But my work is totally isolated from my personal, So it's just to showcase work. I'm not looking for people being famous or having 100K followers. I don't care about that. But I'm there because if I am there, recruiters can see my work. Other artists can see my work and tell them their team or their leads that, oh, this guy is interesting to work with. He is doing an interesting job here. I'm doing comics now. So that is things about my comic that of course I want to reach people, because comics, I'm not doing comics for me only. It's a very personal story, but I want to reach people. I want to tell the story to people. Same with animation. We are doing animation because we want to tell stories as well, right? So being there is super important. Nowadays, being there, the most common platform is Instagram for animation. Of course, full of AI slop, but still a good place to be as an animator. Because we have the reels and the algorithms. I stopped caring about algorithms a long time ago because they change every time. And the people that you need to showcase your work, they will find you somehow, in any platform. So Instagram is very popular for animation. So be there just to people to find you there, like recruiters or other artists, mainly other artists, because this happens a lot in the industry as well, is that one artist spoke about you with other artists, and there is a lot of high happening in this level, not only on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very important you to be there. First, because it has your information, work information, where you have been. Recruiters knows, sometimes they know each other, so they can get a reference from other companies where you have been, how you were there, if you are a troublemaker or not. But usually no. Usually they are fine people, and recruiters especially, they spend their day like looking for good people to hire, because what makes one company different from another is the team, right? Is the people. So they're looking for the best people they can afford to be on their team. So if you have an interesting work and you are showing of stuff, so be there, LinkedIn is not, I don't know how much you are traumatized. I come from Brazil, and LinkedIn there, nobody cares about it. Now it's changing a little bit, but I learned here in Europe that LinkedIn is very important. And I see this is very important in other places. And it's very different as it was like years ago. So my LinkedIn, I can open it here, because people go away from LinkedIn because of the coaches, motivational stuff, the self-help, this kind of stuff that is really annoying. But I can open my LinkedIn to you and show my timeline, and there is zero things about that. Because if you filter, if you create the habit of filtering your connections and blocking stuff that you don't want to see, and liking stuff that you really want to see, like industry stuff, with time, not long time, it will show you only things that are interesting to you. So basically my LinkedIn is games, animation, of course, lots of artists showcasing stuff, and media related to art as well, and animation, and studios, a lot of studios. So grow your network towards that, and you need to be there to be visible as well. So like, you don't need to create exclusive content for each one of them. The same thing that you share, I do this, what you share on Instagram, you can share on LinkedIn as well. So it works for me right now, because I'm not looking to grow my audience to have millions of followers. I just want to be there, be visible, and be reachable, be accessible to these kind of people that can bring me work. So that's what I'm talking about. Use social media as part of your work, part of your career, because you are an artist. You can be working at a studio, but still you are your own company, let's say. So you need to take care of your career, independent of the place that you are right now, okay? I used to say this to all my the mentorship people that I do, take care of your career. It doesn't depend on where you are now. You could be working at Riot, but you don't know how long you'll be there, especially now that they are firing people everywhere. So even if you are at a dream place, take care of your career so your name will be known independent from the company, So you can, if you look at your career like with this perspective, what's important is what you are doing. It doesn't matter the place you are. So if you are Riot today, you could be Blizzard tomorrow, you could be on an indie studio next month, you don't know. So take care of it as you are working independently of anyone. So then you can put your love in what you do, take care of your portfolio, presentation, everything that we spoke here today, right? Always keep this mindset, Take care of your career first, and of course, deliver whatever you need to deliver on the studio that you are. So reputation is very important because, as I said, one artist talks about you with other artists that talks about you with another artist. So if you are well related, this is good for you, for your career, actually. All right. So LinkedIn, Instagram, X, I don't use much, but I know there is a lot of people there, especially indies. And Blue Sky, I don't use much, but it's kind of the same profile. And remember this, being visible, because if you have a work, especially if you are starting, you need to be visible. It's not because of being famous or being popular. You just need to be visible and people will see you, but you need to have consistency posting your stuff. Then the connections will happen and the doors will open eventually, right? So AI, we spoke briefly about that. A little bit of coffee. This is a big discussion. To give you an overview, there are a lot of studios nowadays using AI for many parts. The studio that I'm using, for example, it uses on a way that is less, because it's not exactly our decision. There is another department, especially marketing, that they are using a lot. But on our part, the production, we don't use it too. Nothing that goes to the games is AI. Is 100% human-made. But we still use AI to generate ideas, we design the character. We take this character, we pose this character in different ways. So we are not generating nothing new, but we are experimenting with what we have. So it really speeds up your workflow, but we have this discussion of the generative AI that is, and it is a serious discussion. It should happen, the discussion, that the models are being trained with art that they don't have permission. So this is not right, okay? And I 100% agree with that. But AI is not going away. That's the biggest discussion that everybody says. And AI was there before. Now it's just popular, but it was there in films, in games. People are using this already a long time ago. The problem now is generative AI creating images like they did with Studio Ghibli, using their style without permission. Like this they start doing now. So this is highly unethical, and there is a lot of discussion to happen yet. So always be careful about that, but be aware that this is a technology that you should learn how to make it work for you, and you not are depending on them, and try to keep the ethics part of it clear. Like don't mimic, don't use anywhere, especially images. So I know it's complicated. It's not just it's right or wrong. That is a big gray area there. And to be honest, I don't know if everyone will get to a good conclusion of this. But one thing is for sure, it's not going away. We need to find a way to work together without bringing too much uh, bad things for the work, you know. So if you can, try to not use it to create stuff for your portfolio, but eventually, as someone says here, you're not an artist. You can't have like art the way you want, so you can experiment with that, all right? But try to put your own twist over it, so it's not 100% from the robots, AI animation, they use it already in games. They use it in special effects in Hollywood a lot, even before it was popular. It will come to spine animation. Spine animation, actually, we call it spine animation, but it's like skeletal animation. It's like a technique. It will not take long to get here, to be honest. It's actually taking too long yet, but I heard about some people working around this. And right now we have people in the community that they are creating tools, like the app that I created. It's a smart way to use AI to help our workflow. So in this kind of use, it's something that actually is bringing good things for the workflow because it's making our life easy. It's not generating using unauthorized images from other artists. So I expect that it will come to our work, to our spline animation, but I expect it comes more in terms of creating tools and making our life easier than stealing the jobs. That is the another big discussion. And where AI impacted harder for me, in my opinion, is personal opinion, of course. It's on the entry level, the junior level jobs, because in animation not so much, but in art, for example, my daughter is graduating now in game art, and for her it's very difficult to get a job because the basic tasks of a junior artist, like a concept artist, AI does this like very easily. So studios are not hiring that many juniors anymore. And what I said about the future, what I think it will happen, because today they are accepting more AIs because they have people to control it, the seniors. So AI generated beautiful images, but they need control, they need direction yet. So we have the art directors, and when it comes to animation, we have already tools generating motion, but it needs a senior, a director, to make things work as they should work. And what's happening is that they are not hiring juniors anymore. But the seniors that are working today, they were juniors before. So if you are cutting the entry of professionals, in a few years, there won't be, we that are old, we will not be here anymore. So who will be there? Because there are no people getting good at this, because they are cut at the start, So my vision of the tragic future of AI is more about that, We need to make sure that the juniors somehow they go through they get experience, So this is food for thought. Everyone should care about this because the industry will kind of depend on it. Otherwise, everything will be like the same. Like it is happening already. Like you see generated image, you can say it's AI. Of course, people that are not professionals, they can't. Like my mom, my grandmother, my aunts, they can't say. And that's where the politicians are doing their parties. And it will happen. The media, the mass media, they will make a lot of money with this because, and there will be a lot of stress and confusion because the older generations, they can't say what's real or not. But professionals they still can't say. So, but even once in a while, we skip something. Oh, this is AI, I didn't notice. But on the long run, we need to, as a community, art community, you need to make sure that this will not die. We need to take care of this, not people over there. And we need to make sure that the juniors will get experience somehow. So this is my 2 cents about the future. That is kind of not good, but hopefully, because we are here, we can make sure that we'll get through this, So it's still in our hand, not in the robot's hands. So let's work for that. And fine balance is about that, especially if you are not artist illustration. In illustration, and you need art to study, to cut, to create your rigs and whatever. Try to find a balance. And if you need to use AI, use it, but with a pinch of salt. Don't exaggerate it on it, and try to do your best. As I said, you can go to ArtStation and any other image platform with artists. You can find very cool, original things that AI will not generate because they are not trained enough yet. And you can still be original using human art than generated art, because generated art nowadays, they are very safe thing. You can look at them and can say that this is generated. This is, I don't know how many robots are generated. Like ChatGPT, like now we have Claude, have 200 gazillions options to generate images, but still they are generating kind of the same style, same look. So in that aspect, we are safe for now. But if you go to ArtStation or any other platform, you see that the art that is there is much more original. It has something different. So try to use this. It's a very good option. It's free, and as I said, I never had a problem with that. So try to go this way because it's healthy for everyone. And one of the last things that I want to show you is the app that I created, called Sveew, animation viewer. As I said, it was created first for preview my animations, and I will show how it works. It's here. You can access by this. Of course, we will access the demo version. Okay, switch here. The demo version has this skeleton there. It's locked in, like you can't delete the skeleton. You can't load new skeletons. And you have some constraints, like if you render a preview, here's the player, so you can preview your animations here. If you render your preview, it will give you an option, but it will come with a watermark. It should be like this, but you still can render. So the demo version that you can access, it has everything the app has. You can use it. There are just these few limitations, right? I will switch back to Studio. That is the solo for students, for independent animators, and that is the Studio. The difference is that the Studio, it comes with this review mode that you can like draw over the screen. If you need to send notes to the team, it's more targeted to lead animators that needs to guide their teams and create notes. Like here, let me cancel this. Like I can come to this frame, for example, and I can come to the timeline, and I can add a note on frame 49, for example. Type whatever you want, and then there will be this icon here. I can go to another frame, add notes. So it's more for people that needs to review work and send to other people. So whatever you draw here, you can save as a PNG, and you can take notes. It says which frame it is, which skin, which animation it is. So these are the only difference. For independent animators that are doing for themselves, they don't need review tools. So it's a solo license. So you can delete this and load different skeletons. We have the sack. Let me load this other one here. That is one of the characters that I use in one of the spine gems, the game animation spine gem. And we did this. But the cool thing about the Sveew, that it was created because of this first, is because if you go to spine, let me open the project here. And you need to preview this animation, not this animation specifically, but if you need to preview animations, you have the animation window here. We don't need the graphs now. So you can see all of them here, right? Attack to idle, you can see the idle, but you can see how they will connect to each other, because when they go to the game, they will play one after another. So you can check exactly how it feels, you know? And sometimes before you send to your supervisor or your client, if you are a freelancer, you need to make sure that they are playing nice, you know? So you can preview them isolated here, but then I created this system of nodes here that each one of the animation, you can still preview them here. If you click, it's like spine. You can click them here and they will play. But you can create your own chain of animations here, like idle. Then I want to go to attack, idle to attack. Let's go to the attack. This is a transition animation. So if I click them here, then they will play one after another. So idle, transition, and attack. Then I have attack to idle. So it goes back to the idle. Then it repeats. Then I can put the idle. Then you can see how they work along all the animations that you create, you know? So this is very useful for me. This is something that I really want to have in production, and I never had. Then I decided to make it myself. And it turns out that I start adding stuff over that. I can load this sack here as well, because the sack has skins that this one doesn't have. The sack comes in the demo, so you can check it there. So I have some animations here: the idle, the jump, the walk. By the way, this rig is free as well. You can go to Spine Animation and load it and play with it as well. And here you have the screens. So you can see each one of them. And then you can do the same. You can create idle, then idle to jump. In this case, they go back to the same idle position, so there is no transition between them because they are always coming back to the initial pose, except for the walk. But I can put an acting here, and you can even drag over the thing here. It will be connected. You do play the acting, then you go to the jump. So it's a really nice way to present your work. And then if you like it, the other reason that I did this is because you need to handle, if you need to take this off After Effects spine to create a video for your demo reel, you need to render in PNG, take it to the After Effects, align everything with a background, and then you re-export again. You have all this struggle that takes time. You need to render everything many times. So this is the other reason that I created this. Let's say I have this sequence here and I want to put this on my demo reel. I see that they are blending together. They are connected very well without glitching or whatever. They are aligned to each other. So I can come to the rendered. I can add a background here. Let's see if I find an image that is correct size. I will use the poster. screenshot. But it's the one that I used it the website. As I drag it here, so I have my background. Then I can click and choose my format, MP4. It will render with the background. I can render a PNG sequence that will, in this case, it's just like Spine. It renders a lot of assets. This is the other thing. If you are exporting this from Spine, you have a lot of files to handle. You still can do that if you want with the alpha channel and put background and everything in After Effects. You have this option as well. And then you have the original size. You can have like HD format. You can have vertical or square or vertical. You have the presets and you have the scale if you want to make them smaller to send to your supervisor or something like that. And then you have this that controls how high or low the character is inside the frame. So, because sometimes the root of the file is not at the center of the character, in this case the sac, it's on the lower part of the character. So if you render that, the center goes to the center of the frame, so it will be more on the upper part. If I want to center everything, I need to bring it a little bit lower, so that's why I put it here. The standard is 25% from the bottom part of the layer. Let me render to you so you can see. This case is the vertical. It's like 25% of the bottom, like right here. Let me do the other one, 16 by 9, and let me put it up like 50%. Put it again. So you see now it starts here. So if I use this as a standard, it will be not centralized. So the layout, the design is not very good. So that's why I make it standard 25%, but you are flexible to go anywhere because each rig, each project is different, so you can control this better. On the horizontal, I didn't make any slider for it because usually you want it centered on the horizontal. So just this, so you can have a fine adjustment on your animation. And let me change the color because it was the same. That is, let's put 50%. Export it again. You see, it fits better the fray. So this is another feature that these are the main features that guide me through creating this tool, putting the animations in sequence as I want, and being flexible with that because I can change orders, can repeat sequences, and I can be flexible, and so I can present the work the way I think it should be presented, you know. And on top of that, I added more things. I have the split view. That is another tool for studios. For freelance animators, I'm considering if it's a good idea to include it on the solo version or not, because it's a review tool. So usually freelance don't need that, but maybe there will be cases that they need it. So the split view, as it says, is just a split view. It could load like two animations, so you can compare them, see if they are working well together side by side. And the good thing here, you can like change skins on them like independent, so you can check whatever you need to check. So it's just one more option that you can have. And you can have the grid size here, just if you need to scale or something like that. You can change the color of the guide. Let me go back to the single view. The main guide, the central guide here. You can change the color of the background, of course, if you need, because sometimes contrast is important. And you have this view mode that is normal, but you can have also silhouette. so you can see if the poses that you are crafting are really good. I think it's important. Silhouette as an animation, when you start learning the principles, the fundamental, one of the principles is silhouette, because it says a lot about your character, how it reads to the who is watching. And I have also the on screen that is close to. I need to change the animation here. Let me the acting. Let me isolate it. Yeah. To reload it. Let's play this loop. Okay. Because the acting has more extreme poses, so you can see the frames behind and the frames in front. It's clear here when it goes back. Then you can see how your animation is flowing. If the arcs are in place, you can hide the front part or the back part. You can isolate them. And reset size of the viewport. Reset viewport is just for the character. If the zoom is too long or too close, set. And there are more things coming. Like in the studio version, you can load more than one skeleton, so you can review. Again, it's another review tool, so you can have more than one keys here, so you can check how they are playing and do all your reviews that you need at once. And this is basically it. Oh, this is very cool because you can like speed up animation, slow it down very much, very slow. And this, I added this here because this is funny that in many places that I work, you have, I don't know, you have a 30 frame animation and it's playing, and the art director or the supervisor, he asks, oh, I would like to see this like 20% faster. So what is 20%? Because it's like an abstract number and you can't visualize that. Oh, 10%. You make this like 5% faster. So you can't understand that. So doing my limitation of understanding, I added together with the speed here. Like it's playing at 30 FPS, right? So what is 20%? So faster. So I can come here, 30%. You can even type it here like 20%. So now you know how it feels, 20% faster, And then you can be aligned, because if you are working in a studio already, you know how much feedback is important, and sometimes you get these abstract feedbacks. And not even for studios. Studios should have like more precise feedback. That's one of the reasons I created the tool as well. But if it comes from a client that has no idea how animation is done or how it works, it's even worse because they don't know how to explain themselves. So if you got feedback like this, like I had from clients, 20% faster, 50% faster, so you can translate this now. That is abstract. You can see how it feels 50% faster. And this last one here is zoom, but you can do with the mouse as well. And it's syncs here. And this is it. This is the first version. Very straight to the point. And if you want to try, if you try it, let me know how you feel about it. It will be very nice to hear from you. If you want to upgrade to use all the features, you have the options here. It's not expensive, it's very affordable, and it helps me to bring more features. And of course, I'm open to any suggestion, feedback, and suggestions for new features. I have already a list, backlog of things that other animators gave me that they want to see in the app. So I am working on the next version already. So feel free to use it and see how you feel it, and feedback me, please. All right.